Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday Live with Dr. Shelley and in the Living Powerfully community. Today, we are talking about fear of commitment. So I'm Dr. Shelley Nash. I'm an elite level mindset coach. I help high achieving women to unlock their genius, 10x their income, and really claim the success that they want and deserve. So if that sounds like you, send me a DM and we can talk about where you're at and where you'd like to go. Today, we're talking about this fear of commitment. How many of you related to that? I know there was a lot of people that signed up for this chat. If you're not watching live, then make sure you put hashtag replay afterwards and any comments that you have watching the replay. If you're here live, make sure you check StreamYard so that I can see who you are and see your comments in the chat. So one announcement before we get started on fear of commitment. So this Saturday, May 15th, is our first virtual retreat, and it's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's called Think and Weigh Less. So this is a love project of mine that I created about a year ago, and then it took different turns and changed. And it came up again about a couple of weeks ago, and I changed it to a one-day retreat. And really what it's about is helping you transform your lifelong relationship with food and your body image, yourself. If you are tired of dieting with no lasting success, going up and down and up and down, trying harder and harder every time you try a diet and it's just not working, then let's look at another solution. Because the fact is that when you keep trying to change your habits and change your behaviors, you're only getting those temporary results. And the fact is, you know how to eat, you know how to diet, you probably lost weight before, but it's not working. You're not getting the permanent results. So in order to get permanent results, it's about mindset. It's about your thinking. Success is 95% mindset in anything that you do, whether it's trying to create the body image that you want, or whether it's trying to earn more money or get into your soulmate relationship. Success is 95% mindset and only 5% strategy. And if we're talking about weight loss, we're talking about a strategy to eat a certain way, and that's 5% of it. So if you're not looking at the mindset of how you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself, the image you hold of yourself, and changing that at the core level, at the root cause, then you're going to keep getting those temporary results. So if you want permanent results, I encourage you to attend our first virtual retreat this Saturday, May 15th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There will be no replay. It is a one-shot thing. It will be offered again in a couple months. However, I hope that you can attend this first one. So you're going to learn how to shift your mindset to really get the body you want, get to the source of the problem, and really seek a new solution and find yourself finally, once and for all, in control of yourself from the inside out, in control of your body, and be able to fully express your true self. Who wants that? Put a raised hand in the chat if you want that. So as I said before, this is a passion project for me. I've had a lifelong difficult relationship with my body and my weight almost since 5 years old. I grew up as a, quote, chubby child. I was told to get on a diet and lose weight in order to be a junior high majorette and a high school majorette. And so I did what I was told, and I became anorexic. And then that led me down a whole nother path. And then eventually I went into other eating disorders of binging and going up and down with my weight, 50 pounds. So many times I even lost track of how many times I did that, going on crazy diets, fasting, being always on some kind of diet or trying to control my weight and body so that I would feel okay about myself. It was a nightmare. And so because of that, journey that I went on, I have gained a lot of intel, a lot of information about what is it to have a healing journey relationship with your body, bringing yourself into this new image of yourself so that you can create this new image in the reality of your today. So the virtual retreat is now $97, which is a steal of a deal. If you bring yourself a buddy and you both sign up, I'm offering you 50% off for each of you attending. So DM me for that coupon code. So when you sign up, you can enter that and get 50% off of $97. You will also be entered into a separate Facebook group. So you'll have ongoing support for thinking and weighing less. And then you get a free follow-up session with me after the training, and just to get into your specific needs and anything else I can help you with. So I'm so excited about Think and Weigh Less, and I hope to see you there. Now, going on today, we're talking about fear of commitment. Fear of commitment. And I was thinking about this a lot, and because I heard this statement: no action, no commitment. No action, no commitment. So is it really fear, or is it just that we don't understand what commitment really means? And so you can tell where your level of commitment is if you're taking action towards what you really want. And if you're not taking any action, then you don't have commitment. And so let's look at the dictionary definition of commitment. An agreement or a pledge to do something in the future. Think of that, an agreement or a pledge to do something in the future. Well, I thought that's a ridiculous thing to say about commitment, because you can't do anything from the future. You can only do something from today. And maybe you've heard this before, or maybe you haven't, but I love this analogy. So when is the best time to plant a tree? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. When is the next best time to plant a tree? Today. Today is the day, the best time to plant a tree. Think of yourself as a tree. When is the next best time to plant yourself, to become the woman or the man of your dreams, to become her, to walk, talk, and act like her, the woman you want to become? So I want you to really ask yourself, am I interested in achieving my goals and my dreams, or am I really committed? Which am I, interested or committed? I love this quote from Ken Blanchard. When I heard this really shifted me in making a decision towards something I really wanted. So he says, there's a difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're interested in something, you do it only when it's convenient. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only the results that you want, the results that are getting you towards your goal. You keep going no matter what. Commitment is burning the bridges behind you. There's no going back. So isn't that an awesome quote? So sometimes I ask people that I'm talking to about coaching, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want your goal? And think about this for yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want your goal? And by the time I'm talking to them, they usually say 10 or 10 plus. They really, really want their goal. However, then later on in our conversation, they usually proceed to have a lot of excuses, alibis. They let fear stop them. They procrastinate. They go back and forth in indecision. And they're not really taking action towards what they really want. And so even though they think they're a 10, they think they're a 10 plus, they're really not, because there's no action happening. They're not willing to step out to reach that goal. So where are you on this scale of 1 to 10 commitment? and really achieving your goals. Do you even have a goal? I know that was a challenge for me. I would take some goal setting classes and people would tell me about goals, but I really didn't know even how to set goals. It was intimidating to set a goal because, most people don't set goals because they don't want to fail. And that's crazy because if you don't go for something, you're never going to achieve it. Failing is a part of the process of getting to the goal. So we have so many different things about fear that stop us, that are irrational. That acronym of false evidence appearing real. It is false evidence appearing real to us. And we have to get over that and choose faith instead of fear. So are you really committed to your success in all areas of your life, in your health, in your relationships, in your wealth? Are you really committed? Are you, if you're not taking action towards your success in these areas, then you're not committed, even though you say you are. Action is the key. So let's look at this a little bit further. What's stopping you? Is it fear of the unknown? I hear that a lot. Well, I don't know what it's going to be like. I don't know if I'm going to like it. The fear of the unknown stops people. But really, if you think about it, when you take action towards something, you don't really know how it's going to turn out. You might think you know how it's going to turn out, but you don't really know how it's going to turn out. So knowing how is also something that stops people. Well, I want to know how. I want to know if it's going to be worth it. The how isn't important. It's just getting out there and doing it. I posted a quote in this group today about risk taking, and it's like, risk taking, like you have to take risks because it's a win-win situation. You're either going to achieve what you're risking, or you're going to learn from the failure of the risk. And most of the time when we have failures is when we learn, and that's how we grow. And so no need to be afraid, even though probably some aspect of you is afraid, and you just need to understand fear at a deeper level. So then what else is stopping you? Indecision. Indecision really is of course, the opposite of decision, but it also shows up as procrastination. And so when you're not able to decide, you just wait. and it ends up being procrastinating about making a decision. And I came to this realization a few years ago when I was procrastinating something and I was living in that procrastination. And then I made the decision and I was like, oh my gosh, phew, that feels so much better. I was actually in physical pain being in procrastination and not making decisions. And I didn't even realize that it was painful until I made a decision, and I felt so much better. So I encourage you to just practice making decisions. Even if you make a new decision in an hour, you make a new decision in a day, a week, just keep making decisions, because it's a much better place to be at than indecision or procrastination. What's another thing that stops you? We have this thing called drifting. We drift from one thing to another. And why do we drift? Because of our programming that's internal to us. It's in that unconscious, subconscious level of our mind. We start on a new path, and because that new path and the habits that you need for the new path are not firmly imprinted in you, something else comes along and you're like, squirrel, squirrel. You look the other way and you get distracted, and then you drift from what you really want. And that drifting causes you to go off down different tangents, get totally distracted. And let's talk about being on a diet or deciding you want to lose weight at the beginning of the year. So many times this happens for people where by the time they get to right now, which is May, sometimes they don't even know when they stopped eating how they decided to eat in January. They drifted away from it, and it they don't even know when it happened or how it happened or what was the thought process they had or what actually distracted them from being on the plan. So this drifting comes because we are subconsciously programmed to act, walk, and talk in a certain way, and that shows up in our habits, our behaviors, our beliefs, and our self-image. So until we reprogram our self, the tendency is to drift. And the way you stop yourself from drifting is to get in an environment that is conducive to your growth and is conducive to what you say you want. Because given your own devices, and I can say this for myself as well, given my own devices, I would not be where I am today, because I would have gone down a spiral and never come back. And that actually used to be my life until I learned some of these techniques and tools to get myself to spiral upwards versus staying in the same spiral of insanity or spiraling backwards. So you can learn these tools. What's something else that's stopping you? Waiting for others to do it first. Don't want to be the first person to jump off the cliff. You don't want to be the first person to dive into a new adventure. I'll just wait and see how it goes for other people. Observing what's happening in the world outside of you and letting the outside world make your decisions for you. Letting your friends and family make your decisions for you. When you really get empowered from the inside out, you make your own decisions. You're not affected by the outside world and other people because you know who you are and you know where you're going. You know if it fits or not. So you're easily able to make a decision and say yes. So I want to clear all this up and get you making committed decisions to achieve the life that you really want. So commitment starts with a decision. And then that decision, think of it as a recipe. You add action to the decision. And that's a committed decision. A committed decision is when you take action. And then when you take that action, you burn all the bridges. You leap into the future. And that's how you keep going on that spiral up. So if you're not taking action, then you have a weak desire. I've talked about desire before in this group, but desire is the only thing strong enough to break those programming habits of the past, those internal programming habits that aren't serving you any longer. So you have to have a really, really strong desire in order to take that action. And that's something I help my clients to really discover. Why is it I want that goal? What is my burning desire for that goal? Because if it's not strong enough, you'll stop. And if it's not strong enough without the right support, you will stop. And maybe this has happened to you before. Let me know in the chat if this has happened to you before. So your desire has to be incredibly strong, has to be what we call a burning desire or a passion for what it is that you want. Because without that desire, your programming will take over. You will drift. You will get off track. Procrastination and indecision will come up. All the things that I just mentioned will happen to you because the desire isn't strong enough. So before commitment, you have to explore what is your desire. Why do you want to make that commitment? What is it inside you that's burning to make that commitment, to make that change in your life? And then make the decision, say, I'm committed and not interested. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Take action and jump off the ledge. Take the leap. And when you take that leap, then the path will be shown to you. Then you will get the guidance of what you need to do next. You don't need to know how when you take the leap. It's in taking the leap that you're telling the universe, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm doing it. What should I do next? And the universe just leads you along the path, leads you along your journey. I know it's scary because I've done this so many times, but it really works out every single time. It works out and it continues to work out. You keep leaping, you keep going, you keep spiraling up in your growth because you know what? you've heard this probably before. If you're not growing, you're decaying, and you want to be on the path of growth, because our aging process is a natural decaying process. And if you're not on the path of growth, then you're just going to go along with the decay process that is natural to us as human beings. So be on the path of growth and continually going for your dreams and your goals. So I hope that this has helped you today to realize what is that fear of commitment that you have, to give you some tools and techniques for getting over that fear of commitment. I'm going to post something here that I just learned how to do. So I'm going to post this. If you're interested in coming to the Think and Way Less retreat, there is the link for it. So you can just go to thinkandwaylessretreat.com. It'll give you all the information. You can sign up there. So I'm so happy to have you at that. And here is the link to apply to make an appointment with me to talk about your goals, to talk about, what you want, and really get you through this fear of commitment, really get you to discover your desire of where you want to go in your life. And then let's get you there. Let's get you going, because remember, you have to do it today. It's today. If you're committed, you do things today. There's no waiting. So I'm so excited to talk to you. I hope this has helped you a lot. And I'll look forward to seeing you at the Think and Way Less retreat, or in this group, Living Powerfully community. I can put that link up here too for those of you that are not in Living Powerfully community. This is a group for women that want to keep growing, keep inspiring each other, keep supporting each other, and going for their dreams and goals. So happy to have you in the group if you're not already. So have a great Tuesday. We'll see you for the next Tuesday live, or on the retreat this Saturday, or in a random other time when I come into the group. Make sure to post below that you've watched the replay, and any comments or questions that you have, I'm happy to answer them for you. And DM me if you want the buddy discount for Think and Way Less retreat, so that I can give you that coupon code so you and your buddy can join together. You know why I do that is because if you have a buddy, if you do something with someone else, you have automatic accountability to keep going, to keep doing it with your friend that's doing it with you. So excited to see you. Have a great week, and we'll be talking to you soon. Bye.